I'm Josh with Skid Pro. Today we're looking at our HD Grapples. We're going to do our quick start guide, get you up and enjoying your attachment faster and with less learning curve. One of the things I love on the rock grapple is using it as kind of a land leveler scarifier. It's serrated, it knocks off the high spots, it carries a little bit. This is just a little gravel area that got chewed up after a rain. We're gonna smooth it out a little bit. I like to put my grapples up when I do this. See my cutting edge a little bit better. There you go, just like that. Now when you're doing single pickup stuff, I tilt it all the way forward and then I use it almost like a thumb. Sometimes you got a handful of stuff to pick up and you got a few stops in between. You got to reposition, drop it in. Again, I like to come over the top and use it almost like a hand picking up material. Brush, we're gonna go ahead and on a pile. I'm rolling that cutting edge down, and then I roll it forward and almost all the way. Yeah, I missed one, but I got most of it. Pushing that pile in, we just open that grapple up. Use a cutting edge there to pack. Push your loader arms down. Shake it out. Get that cutting edge down again. Push up. Packing that pile certainly helps. Now let's look at some logs. We talked about how that can work with the rock grapple here. Simply come in, keep everything nice and low. And there you can see the importance of having cutout sides, right? You got, well, 8-10 foot sticking out there. Another few feet sticking out here. Grapple itself, it's heavy enough load, it's tippy with my 75 horse Cat 257, and just goes to show you that this grapple certainly is tough enough and strong enough. There you can see that's how that dirt falls through. We shake that, usually with our hydraulics. I just wiggle that back and forth. And that allows that dirt to fall through. It still falls through on a rock grapple. It's even more so on a skeleton grapple. You know, and one of the things we didn't touch on yet is the hose routing. We protect the hose routing through the cylinders, through the middle, but there's still that portion from the center top of the grapple to the hydraulics. Everybody's got their own. I even have a hose retainer on the left side of my Cat. I prefer to have the hoses right in the middle. It gives me a little more flexibility, keeps it away from those pinch points. The pinch points are the killers. Cat's particularly bad. But every machine has them to an extent. And so I think it's really important and worth mentioning. You gotta figure out that hose routing. That's the #1 cause for downtime when it comes to grapples. Grapples are probably the worst attachment because you have a full range of motion, whether it's way up in the air or down at the ground, and there's just so much going on. You can't always be watching your hoses. That's why it's important to get them routed right the first time. Now let's go take a look at cleaning up the kind of the fine-tooth cleaning. I know the skeleton grapple really excels at this. It has less contact points on the ground. The rock grapple a little bit different, but it also does a nice job of kind of smoothing out. So, you know, we'd simply try and allow that dirt to fall through, and we scrape the bottom here as we're going along. And then I use that same trick we talked about before, where now I roll my grapple forward. I'm keeping that cutting edge on the ground as I roll all the way forward, bucket tilt. Now I clamp my grapple without picking up. Boom. I've got a bunch of fine material and wood chips that will actually burn, and you know, we can go to the dump pile with. Might as well make a full load. We'll grab a couple of these here. Another quick point, no matter what the attachment, but especially with grapples, is if you're learning, slow down your engine RPMs, like maybe half engine RPMs. I know some of the new machines have depth burnout and some different things, and they want you at a higher RPM. But when you're getting used to a new attachment, it's just best to slow down and get a feel for it before we just go at full throttle. It's just really hard to control. I've been in a skid loader most of my adult life, and I still, when you get that fine, important work, we just slow down, and we like to take our time. And I like to keep my brush pile nice and tight. Now we'll go take a look at the handle and some rocks, see if I can find some rocks. Even logs can, you know, be something like that, where we got the independent grapples. We're going to go ahead and roll forward again, get her in, tilt back, get in the back of the bucket, go on to the next one. You're taking long trees out, you got to be careful. It's a ton of pressure on those grapples, those individual grapples. You can see this large tree that I have, better part of a tree, is all in the right grapple. And that's okay. I'm just not doing a lot of twisting, right? I'm pulling it back, rather than turning around and fighting, getting it in the trees, and that is the #1 way you can hurt your grapple. If you have an extra long trunk in your grapple and you're going widthwise, you can be cooking along and that grapple's hanging out, say 8-9 feet, and you're not paying attention, and you end up snagging the limb that's way out here or out there on a tree, and it's got a ton of leverage on there. You can really get yourself into trouble. So you always want to be aware of that. But even here, I'm walking it in. All that pressure's on that single grapple. You can tell it's built tough, but I also want to be smart about it. Obviously, you can also handle the smaller rocks too. There's that rock dam. You can see how that held that one in. Now you see some of the differences and the similarities between the rock and the skeleton grapple. Now get out there and have some fun. And as always, remember, at Skid Pro, we believe in better products, better service, happier customers.